Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another day here at the LG Ultragear Presents the Esports Club Challenger Series, powered by ZOTAC. Aggressive was supposed to join me today, CCV, but I'm glad that I have you here because it's gonna be a map where it's less to do about analysis and more to do about voodoo stuff. True rippers and being aggressive. I've been having quite the couple of giggles when it comes to proving theories wrong, but I think they can prove everybody wrong. True rippers had a very good performance, and now they're gonna go up against VLT. So it's gonna be all the order. And down at our 8 p.m. matchup, we have Lethal Esports taking on M42. So I'd say the 8 p.m. matchup is the matchup that I'd predict will get close to the wire unless True Rippers
Yeah.
pull something truly sensational out of the bag.
Absolutely. I mean, so far, yeah, the second match that we have today is going to be a lot more interesting, a lot more closer, a lot more difficult to predict. The first match, well, before heading into the matchup, all the pre show theories we have, they are inclined to a certain team winning. However, as we have seen already here in the Challenger Series, in the qualifiers and even in the main event, things can soon take a turn for the better or for the worst for either one of the rosters. And it's all dependent on the player performances as well. And the players which have the best performances are obviously going to be the MVPs and the stars of the show. Talking about the MVPs, let's take a look at them and see who have been the most valuable performers overall in this Challenger Series. And we have two players from the same roster for the time being. We have Deathmaker leading the charts, 277 average combat score, kills as well. He's got 69. He's been an MVP in one of the matches. Then you've got Bad Love with, I believe, yeah, 86 kills. Bad Love has been insane. I mean, the last match that Reckoning played, Bad Love was the table topper as the chamber, I believe, in both of the maps, or he was the top frag in one of the maps and the second best performer. So when it
Yeah.
comes to kills, there is no stopping this man.
I feel sad that we didn't get our main man Logi up here. I'm not sure if you were aware yesterday, but our man Logi pulled off a 30 bomb with the KJ.
Oh,
So, yeah, not the Sentinel that you'd think would go pseudo duelers, but man just
yep.
popped off. So, if we're gonna see anything similar today, man, it's gonna be a feast. And especially with the side of VLT, right? This is gonna be something that should be their bread and butter blindfolded playground. This should be a situation where they don't have any sweat whatsoever. And talking about sweat, talking about what kind of situation we arise, let's see how we got here. Let's quickly head to the brackets so that we can trace some of these teams and their journey through the Challenger series so far. We had VLT take Lethal Esports down 2-0, so it was sad to see Marzel's team bow out in that fashion, but they still have a good shot from that lower bracket, especially going up against M42 and True Rippers against M42. You do remember how it just swayed, right? In the last map, it just swung so hard in True Ripper's favor. I'm super excited to see what they have to offer. We also did get to see Revenant Esports versus Enigma, which is an
Oh, that was,
absolute nail biter.
yeah.
I could not imagine an EGO2. And yeah, the unimaginable happened. Now we're going to see EG claw their way back through their lower bracket run, and it's going to be grueling. CCV. No sense of comfort whatsoever, but a team like Enigma, I think, thrives in a situation like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Pressure is going to be imminent on all the teams in the lower brackets. Like you said, they have to thrive there and they have to survive. Now, there is no safety net, nothing to prevent them from going down in the ditches and being out of the tournament, out of the hands of the 7 lakh prize pool that is there for the Challenger Series. The teams have to keep on winning and they have to keep on surviving. So, that's going to be interesting. And our second match, our 8 p.m. game, is going to be very interesting in showcasing that. However, the 4 p.m. match right now and the teams that are going to be playing as well, it all makes it also fun to watch. So, taking a look at the team intros and seeing the rosters that we have, we will start off with none other than Velocity Gaming. And well, we say team intros, but I think just when you read the name Velocity in the title, in the thumbnail of this stream, everyone is very well aware what and whom to expect. It's going to be Vibho from the left, Amaterasu right to ace with his Sova plays and just his presence on the map, be it the loco or be it the person getting all the information. He gets the kills, currently holds the record in South Asian Valorant for the highest KD that was made in this Challenger series. You have someone like Deathmaker, who is the current MVP of the entire Challenger series, and then you have Mr. Consistent Health.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see what Deathmaker and especially SK Rossi is going to be like, especially after that Jet nerf, dude. It's going to be
Mhm.
maybe the last few times we're going to be able to see Deathmaker playing this Jet with the absolute ceiling hitting the sky. So it's going to be
Right.
memorable for sure. And let's also head towards True Rippers, because you have one tap god on the other side who he can pull off immaculate plays of himself, and he has Crosshair, Relic, Paradox Master, and Bones to join his side. This roster in its ranks has pretty nice players, not only in terms of aim, but in terms of understanding. True Rippers as a team feel to be somewhat rounded, but I'm going to bring this point again because CCV, this is something that they're yet to rectify. Even
Mhm.
in a situation where it looks like True Rippers have the edge, they have the upper hand, and it looks like they're going to close the map at 2-0, they always find a way to give a map away. They always find a way to give to their adversary, which maybe in another tournament where the stakes aren't that high and you aren't playing against the best that India has to offer, cool. Sometimes you get away with it, but they're going to play against VLT today. Those are
Right.
luxuries that not only they can't afford, but if they go down that road, it's gonna be a swift 2-0.
That is true. Yeah, true troopers have got to make sure they maintain their stability. And when things are going in their favor, when they do have the momentum, like you just mentioned, they do not give it away towards the end. It has happened. We have had many close calls. We have had the hints of comebacks as well from other rosters so far. And the thing is, we've only seen so few matches in the main event. We've only gone through our upper bracket quarterfinals. Now heading into the semi-finals, everything is ready and the players are ready as well. Now talking about the players, we will go into the head-to-head to see which rivalry, like who are going to be the arch nemesis of each other. And again, yeah, it's going to be the
Understandable.
battle of the Jets. Absolutely. Deathmaker, the Challenger Series MVP right now.
Yeah. He is really, really Mr. Consistent for his team. And one tap god, his performance is, I think, admirable because he's one of the
Mhm.
few Jets who can actually put their team on the back and still not be phased by that challenge. So, like I said, it's more of a team thing that needs to synergize way better than the fact that these players might need to adapt in other sense. It's more about having your mental strong throughout the journey, right? We know that they have the chemistry. We know that they have the mechanical skill. We know that they have everything that it requires to have the raw ingredients of a good team and a good player. But it all needs to come together and there needs to be a little more of a strength in that binding glue.
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna be all about team synergy as well. The teams have to make sure that their comms are on point, their rotations as well. Very, very soon we'll be taking a look at the maps that will be played, that we will be seeing in this best of three. And from so far, from what we've seen, both of the teams, they really can get their rotations down in point. Like they can predict fakes, they know when to expect and execute how to deny it. And it's an interesting. Wait a minute. Map 1, Bind, I genuinely thought True Rippers would have chosen it, but no, it has been picked by Velocity Gaming. That has certainly caught me off guard. I mean, the second two maps, Haven and Ascent, yeah, both of these teams, very well aware how to play those two maps. It's their bread and butter, it's their staple. I believe Haven and Ascent are two of the most played maps, or like three of the most played maps in the top three for both the rosters. But Bind certainly has the attention of everyone. It's going to be map number 1. We will be jumping right into it as your initiating map chosen by Velocity. Like makes you wonder what are they going to go for. Earlier, when Marzel used to be there in the roster, we know Velocity went for those double duelist plays where Deathmaker would go for the Jet, Marzel would have the Raze, and they would play Bind, but not that much. So it is interesting that they have gone for this map choice.
Interesting to say the least. I'm not 100% sure as to if it's a curveball or if it's a risk that they're willing to take, but Haven and Ascent feel like more or less VLT done deals, right?
Hmm.
I feel like if True Rippers have any chance, it should be on Bind. But mind you, True Rippers did pick Haven. If there's any game plan in mind, I'm interested to see what that's gonna be. In my eyes, I feel like this has the perfect setting yet again for somewhat of an upset, and that's the same thing when I said about the EG game yesterday. Hmm. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about the other situation now, and I feel like we were a little careless by giving our thoughts away a little too early. I I feel like this has to be a nice game from VLT where
Get a
when
comeback in place. Oh, I believe you're back. Can you hear me?
yeah, I certainly can, buddy. And I feel like one thing that should also be heard is that we don't have Marzel anymore, right? Marzel
Mhm.
used to be the race player when it comes to bind. He used to be that player who always used to go with that judge. He always used to camp towards lamps, and mind you, he always pulled off those big plays when required, right? Landed those showstoppers, bought time for his team, gotten crucial kills. So it's gonna be a weird time where we're going to see him not play in this VLT roster and it's going to be bind. I'm interested to see who's going to pick up that role of the race, and even if we are going to get that Death Maker Jet. Do you think that that's something that they should swap out for a map like Bind? Because I do see the fact that a double initiator composition alongside a race could be more viable than a double duelist on Bind, especially when you're going to be playing against a team composition, right? Pugs are a completely different thing, where the fact that it works there might not hold as much material when you talk about a matchup like this. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out. And we're just moments away from the draft screen. So it's going to be more or less secured with the Sova. One thing with the bind, though, recently is due to the way things have been going in Reykjavik, especially with Paper X's performance, and especially Forsaken, we might get to see a very, very special appearance of a Yoru. We've seen how viable a Euro could be on a map like Bind. So if they're feeling it right here, and this could be for either side, this could be for VLT if they are feeling it on Deathmaker, or this could be drawn in by True Rippers trying to throw a curveball. Especially when you have a dive strategy, the Yoru is somewhat effective on the back of a setup. And if you do compare, right, I think I had this discussion with Aggressive when we were trying to maybe tier together the duelists, and we were discussing about the Neon and the Yoru dilemma as to if there's no jet on the server and maybe it's not bind or ascent, so raise might not be as viable. What really makes that big of a difference when you put a Yoru or a Neon in the pool? And I think both of us came to an understanding that if you have those two as a duelist, it takes a monumental amount in terms of setup work, where a lot of utility is then committed to facilitate such an aggressive play with a duelist that's not really a dive agent. And I say that in the sense where when you say dive, it should more or less be very impossible to hit as you're gonna commit to that site. Something like a double satchel, something like a dash. So it's something that requires you to not only have a very, very good read on what the enemy team's setup's gonna be like, but you also need to have a very, very tight knit strategy based on timing and coordination and utility to make sure that it all goes in tandem and the opportunity for you to be capitalized on is reduced by quite a bit. So we have that on buy, and then on Haven, we've been seeing a lot of Killjoy lately, which is very surprising because Haven is a very, very long avenue map. So it's very, very nice map when you have that chamber setup along with maybe a jet. It makes that double operator setup far more of a threat. So if True Rippers are gonna be on Haven, I'm expecting them to 100% go for a chamber. Although that is something that we did expect yesterday. Not going to be the same case today, though. Today is a completely different day in this matchup. It's all dependent on how heated Bind could get. And even if it does go all the distance, we have a scent to end things, right? I don't think that there could have been any other map that would have made this as vanilla as possible here in the Challenger series. I think what Bind, Haven, and Ascent have been the majority of the maps that we've had so far. It's gonna require a very, very versatile team for this kind of a map, Vito, because Bind and Ascent, sure, there is a good opportunity that we're gonna get the double initiator, so it's gonna put all the more pressure on the shoulders of Deathmaker and One Tap God respectively, which is something that they absolutely need to bounce back from. I think we made this point even yesterday, CCV, where when it was Knight Rider who completely flopped his first half on the first half of Ascent, it was, I think, 5 to 6 frags at the end of the first half. And our man Knight Rider just popped the hell off in that second half, and he just topped the server with a couple of very, very crucial and clutch plays. especially his aggressive push that got his team into overtime and then taking victory on map 1 where it looked like an EG certainty. So that's going to be a very, very crucial characteristic, the ability to make your way back from a difficult situation. Something that we've seen before from great players, something that we need to see again. This should be True Ripper's test, and I hope that they come out with flying colors.
Um, I hope so too. Unfortunately, yeah, OG, I wasn't there. A couple of technical issues on my side as well, and a couple of tech issues on the player side. Hopefully, now everything has been resolved very, very quickly. We can jump into the agent selection. As a matter of fact, we will. So let's go into the map of Vine, see what compositions will be picked up by these rosters. And from the looks of it, I am interested to see, are we going to go for something like double duelist? Because it has been a while, it's not really picked. There used to be a time where Astra Viper was really the pick. You know, teams like Enigma Gaming really went for that. But now with the Astra nerfs as well, that's also been phased out. And Velocity, they have opted for Double Initiator, which it's a bold move on the map of Bind. Double Initiator, I mean, you can get heaps of information, and with Bind being so close quarter combat kind of map, you know, you have so many of those corners. Someone like Breach and even Brimstone to an extent can really help you to get those pesky defenders out of their positions. You know, if someone is camping for, say, hooker, you can use the aftershock, you can use the flashes to get them out of that place. So that's interesting. Meanwhile, the side of True Rippers, they've also gone for the same comp, but with one difference. It's going to be the Sky, chosen by Bones.
Yeah, and as well as the Rays coming out as the duelist for the side of True Rippers, which I think makes a world of difference, right? We talked about the double initiator giving you heaps of information, but one thing that the Rays gives you is that boombot, which especially on a map like Bind, CQC, close corridors, very narrow angles, it makes a world of difference. You can clear hookah, you can to some extent clear lamps, you can clear shars when you're trying to take the aggressive peek. You can clear long as you're trying to double peek. There's a lot of things you can do with the utility that Raze has to offer, and that makes her a very, very unique duelist in her own sense. But it also requires a different how do I say this? A different setup to the play that you're gonna make. And set up purely in an individual sense, in the way that you approach an angle and you approach a fight. What is the stack towards? All right, let's quickly head into the game because I think that you, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be as bamboozled as I am. The stack towards hookah from True Rippers. Oh god, are we going to see the bamboozle play from the get-go? Crosshair, he lays down that alarm bot close towards short, and he's gonna be in the neck of a couple of VLT members pretty quick. The push from Deathmaker, and he's put to a stop pretty quickly. Crosshair gets out with the rendezvous, and Paradox with the last bullet of Amaterasu gets taken out. The nade forces the aggression, and it's a very uncomfortable position for Right to Ace, only with the classic. Oh god, he actually claps him! No! He ran out of bullets, Master! The heartbreak! It's all left on a crosshair. A 1v3 required HP? Not as favorable, and Hell finally ends up closing it out. If it went down to the 1v1, their Right to Ace was down to 32 HP, and it looked like a viable clutch. True Rippers, I like the strategy. The gunplay was just... it was comical, dude. An inferior buy now. True Rippers are gonna be on a save. VLT. Wipe the floor with them on the pistol. Let's see if they're able to keep it clean with the Spectres. Come back from towards B. That Flash did not gain much info, and the recon enables the peek from Deathmaker. Oh my goodness. This is gruesome stuff. And it's also flawless stuff from VLT, crucially. 2-0, keeping that economy strong, even with the Spectres, it's very viable on a map like Bind to claw around back. The defenders don't choose their engagements properly. We mentioned about Bind being CQC, right? The Grove Street drive-by, yeah, that's where it's most lethal.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you've got movement on point and more specifically, you've got utility to support your peaks, you can 100% make efficient use of those specters and you can absolutely, get rid of your opposition. Now, speaking of those specters, that's exactly what Health will be peaking with. One tap cord, he'll be good for one.
Ooh. Double. Deathmaker clawing his way back. Man advantage goes the other way. And VLT now getting close to translating a W from what looks to be their bonus. They're converging from both the front and the back lines. Master is gonna try and throw down a little bit of surveillance. But VLT have been vigilant and they have been discreet with their position. Deathmaker, I'm not sure if his gun barrel didn't allow him to spot it, but finally he turns to make a time and he gets the quad. Knows exactly where Master is heading from. Oh, I'll use Deathmaker, but not enough for him to win the round. Amaterasu on 2 HP just survives by the skin of his teeth, but VLT convert on their bonus. A very, very tough situation for True Rippers, as now they have to yet again wait for an investment yet to come. Discomfort, that's what they're facing. Is Crossa actually buying a sheriff? Okay. I think one of the first times I'm seeing a chamber do so. And True Rippers, what's their reply to such a strategy? VLT have been calculated in the way that they've been taking aggression. With the raise combination, it's possible for them to maybe play a little more explosive on the back of aggressive recon, but again, is that something that you really want to do? Take an early fight when VLT are going to be passive waiting for it? That's a bigger question mark. A small technical timeout called by True Rippers. Again, you never want any of these players to be playing on tech that's not completely working. I think it's Bones who's having slight issues, so as soon as he reconnects, we can get on with the game. I hope it wasn't on the back of any issues that Bones was facing that True Rippers did have to bow out of that round prior. But it shouldn't make that big of a difference. If they're capable enough to win this map, it should be on the back of what might be a long journey. Truly proven to us that they are worthy and they have the caliber. They are playing against one of India's finest. So it's not like VLT are gonna cut them any slack. Oh goodness, does he know though that there are gonna be more players towards Hookah? Hellfighter is just watching the back lines, and it just works in tandem. Again, VLT, like I said, they've been waiting this one out. They want you to be the ones playing aggressive. They're gonna be the ones sitting passive, waiting for those aim builds to be coming their way. Oh, the shot he played in work. There is that flash with Lamps and Masters already repositioned. And Tease, man. It's all left onto the Brim, who's already discovered because of that alarm bot. And Paradox should be end up dead. Oh, nice tap. Didn't take a single point of damage. This is hopefully this doesn't get expensive for VLT CCV.
I mean, yeah, at the same time it can get. I don't think Velocity will be giving any more than another kill to Paradox. No, okay, no more. So that's good. And yeah, Paradox manages 1 kill, unfortunately can't survive. The rifle that was dropped will not be retrieved. So True Rippers are still in a deficit in terms of the rounds that they have lost. I mean, yeah, it's a 0-4 score. Plus, the economy finally has improved thanks to the eco that they took, and they're going all in. This is going to be another one of their full buys. We can spot the operator on Crosshair as well. True Rippers in desperate need of ultimates, and thankfully, even if they lose this round, which they really shouldn't, they will have ults to support them round 6 onwards.
The 30 force is gonna be big, especially on a map like Bind, You can see wonders and Hellfighter pulling out wonders of his own. That's Paradox out of the equation so early. Not only did he have that orbital strike, but also the only man on the side of True Rippers can lay down any kind of cover. Oh, Deathmaker. Almost had the double peek on him. Gets information, falls back, and I think that's their call to commit towards A. And that's why Crosshair just lies in wait. Oh no, he just got played with. Oh, the setup. True Rippers, they're just being picked apart like they're minced meat. This is gruesome, dude. VLT have no mercy as they just commit to this onslaught step after step, atrocity after atrocity.
Velocity just winning their gunfights is such a big boost to them, because again, this was a full buy versus full buy. True Rippers went for all armor, 4 rifles, operator, and they only managed to get 1 kill. That's it. In the entire roster of Velocity, only a single person died in that round. The gunfights that Velocity are taking now, they have this fearlessness in them. They know that even if they dry peek an angle, chances are they may just end up getting the kill, and that's why Velocity are willing to take that risk, because they know that for the time being, True Rippers not winning their duels has just knocked them down a peg. Plus, all the pressure that is being added on the True Rippers members, with them losing rounds constantly, the economic pressure as well with them, just going for this full buy and losing. It's getting to their brains, it's getting to their heads, and someone like Daffy really needs to, alleviate some of the pressure, get the boys back up and running, get the machine just efficiently pumping out rounds for their side. And what he really needs is that one moment, or like that one spark of brilliance with which True Rippers, as soon as they get that one round, I believe True Rippers can get back into the game. They just need to get started. And Velocity, the good thing for VLT side is that they're denying True Rippers at every step of the way. So this is probably what Daffy chose to do in this timeout. Make sure that True Rippers know all they need is one round, and then they can build upon that. So with that being said and done, let's start off round number 6.
Considering the fact that the orbital strike is available, Paradox, they should be willing to play a retake and relinquish control. The Stimby can almost enable that push. One tap God's really feeling it. Can't deal with a bull like that. Bones is gonna be given away by the drone. Still finds the drop on hell though, and he's gonna be easily. Oh, okay,
Ooh.
that is a mile and a half there. A man covered. Tarasu. Man down to some extent. I will do that. Molly was just a second too late. And position's already secured by VLT. Crosshair really needs to pop off with this thought they force if True Rippers have any business winning this round.
Alright. We have
That
had...
orbital strike.
Yeah, exactly. They are just waiting to go for the retake. Crosshair, like you mentioned before, it's going to be very important. He right peaks the angle, beautiful shot, and in synchronization, Paradox also gets the drop on Cross, leading right to his all alone. Orbital strike affecting him, and True Rippers on the backs of their ultimate get this beautiful round win for their side. Exactly what we were talking about. The tactical timeout really worked. They needed the ults, they got them, and now it's almost as if the guns didn't matter. Thrifty round. Again, total team synergy. They waited for this team retake, and they peaked together. Like I said, they had the synchronization, and Velocity were just caught absolutely off guard. There was nothing they could do. They were getting peaked from so many angles, and it caused their ultimate demise. So only a round loss for Velocity. They're still doing very well, economically. Everything is good to go, but True Rippers, this must give them the boost of confidence that they needed. And we can see a change in Velocity's dynamic as well, a change in their play style. They're slowly getting their way through, and they're using the utility instead of dry peeking things. They still manage map control, but with the spike still being near attacker spawn, it brings to question what exactly is Velocity's plan in this round.
This double setup towards long from True Rippers, it's reliant on that bait and switch to work, and they're gonna try making it on the back of utility. That's something VLT want to thoroughly avoid as of now. The majority of their members grouped outside hookah. True Rippers have committed the Seeker switch, enables Master's rotation to yield more value. When is he gonna commit to the peak? Okay, he's gonna send out that hour drone first. The play is pretty decent here. Now they're buying time here, True Rippers. They can't allow this execute to happen in full fruition. As everybody from VLT now rotate over towards this B side. One tap god. The aggro is well bought for him to find success. Yeah, Bones was in a very one and done situation from the beginning because of the recon. And Master, he stays alive. Very, very important stuff. With him alive, this makes this a very, very doable prospect. And True Rippers, they're looking to add another to the tally in consecutive fashion more significantly. As now they start to gain a little momentum, they heat the engine a little bit. All they need is for the guns to roar in unison.
Well, they absolutely are. This round was a great example of that. Now we can spot on the face cams as well. The players, they're locked and loaded. They're ready. They know that if Velocity can bleed, they can very well be defeated as well. So keeping that in mind, True Rippers, yeah, they're not going to give up any sort of map control. And they're not going to give even a single bit to the side of Velocity. No leeway for the attackers. They'll have to fight for everything. Utility usage is there. Someone like Health, he pushes up towards Shaw's, and the same thing that Velocity were trying earlier. They have 3 of their members pushed up towards Shaw's. Meanwhile, the remaining 2 are near Hooker or B long, and Velocity go for this 2-pronged approach. They just gain map control, or Velocity think if they're lucky, they can find a kill. However, True Rippers are not giving them even a single bit of gunfights or even like any prospect of a duel being taken. Everyone in True Rippers, 4 members on the A bomb side, yet none are peeking the attackers. Everyone is just backed off and everyone is just waiting for Velocity to make the jump, to go for the execute. And Velocity now, they've made the correct call. They'll be attacking the B bomb side. There's only a single person there, and now can that person fend off the entire execute?
It's possible for them to take this teleport, and that's exactly what I was predicting. Oh, the bamboozle. Everybody was rotating from the side of True Rippers. They need to make their way back, but there's a showstopper, and it puts a stop to Deathmaker. The double peak, and now I assumed it's going to be the double on the peak, but Paradox ends up going down back of the trade. Crosshair, nice shot on the Vibor, but the aggro, it's bought by Hellfighter, and right to ace with that kill evens the situation out. Cool, but time is of the essence, and that's something that's gonna very crucially make the difference in this round. Right to ace navigating all the way towards the back side, and the Hunter's Fury makes sure that he needs to punch in the digits. He's able to make his way out though. A huge blunder, and now this 2v2 completely reset. The Shock Dart does a decent bit of damage, takes the armor out and isolates the dual. Bone still wins it out though. 1v2, Hellfighter, what do you have to offer? Close, he might be the chamber, but he needs to rendezvous to victory, and he brings the spark force. 6-2, VLT continue to amaze. Let's see this once more. Dodges that guiding light. Beautiful shot, knows the second. Timing, placement, everything done in the wire. And hell left, dragging them down to hell and up to earth and down to hell again. I like that they called the timeout again. This time it's VLT, in fact. Everybody could use the B though. We did see this yesterday, 6-2. We wrote off the other team and they managed to come back. Yeah, so I don't think we want a repeat of that. Dude, what's this Deathmaker cam? Is Deathmaker a little shy today? Hey, there we go. Aww,
no,
thank you. He also realized that.
Alright, yeah, it's not just about the camps, it's about the performance in the server. And there, I don't think anyone in Velocity is shying away from taking the gunfight, so just absolutely, doing anything that they want, really. I mean, with a score like 6-2, Velocity are very much in control of this first half. And the last ray of hope for a team like True Rippers must be the side swap. After that, they can improve things, they can improve the score. And as we know, always happens that, yeah, the side swap can really change things, prop up a comeback rapidly, as Velocity have gone for this execute quite rapidly. Look at all the members in the red move into the A bomb side,
goodness.
ready for the execute. They get the opening kill, and now they're looking for more.
Are they gonna get it though? This kind of over-aggression, Crosshair really needed to punish those kind of peaks. If he has the operator, those are shots that he needs to be landing day in, day out. A lot of utility though still on one tap god to flush out or at least force back some of these engagements. The recon dot aptly destroyed. Master, nice pre-aim, but he's down to 38 HP. The space being bought, and Amaterasu with utility finds that peak and confirms the kill. Easy stuff for Vibor as well. Just flirting with danger, flirting and slow dancing alongside those smokes. Has the orbital strike up now crucially. This enables them, CCV, to really bring in that velocity. They'll be able to they'll be able to diss out that orbital strike towards Lambs, commit to that A side, put that orbital strike towards either Hookah or towards the TP towards B long, and then commit to the B side. It's very, very viable now to play with the pace and play with the rotations that True Rippers are gonna have, and I feel like that's gonna be a very, very hard task for True Rippers to dig themselves out of as this hole just continues to deepen.
Absolutely, for True Rippers, every single round is the deficit increasing further and further, and this one won't change a lot. We've had a flurry of kills right there, and a thrifty means that True Rippers, they have given it their best to try and edge this round. As a matter of fact, they got 3 kills. A lot was going on instantly, but the members of Velocity, with the fact that they had the better weaponry, the difference in those guns meant that VLT secured the round, but it costed them. It was an expensive one, and for that very reason, True Rippers know that they've dealt some damage. Now they just have to capitalize on it even further, because we are nearing the end of the first half. This is the penultimate round. The side swap is going to happen. Everything will reset, so the credit economy starts to matter less and less. The alt economy scene, what matters is how many rounds you have, and for True Rippers, 2 is not a strong tally at all.
This could be big though. Deathmaker position given away, but the utility wait, it didn't hit him. It didn't hit Crosshair, but he still manages to not land that shot. Master Shock Dart does delay the peak, and Deathmaker deterred by the HP. Cloudburst, but I don't think that's going to deter Master whatsoever. Deathmaker with his knife out. Oh, the orbital strike. Master's able to dodge it right in the nick of time as they commit now towards this A side. On the back of the stim beacon, they are straight up W. Gas. And they gassed Master. 1v3 with the Seekers. It still seems like a daunting task.
Oh, it's the gunfights. He has a bit of utility to help him. The Seekers, like you mentioned, are going to be really useful, but everyone in the server knows exactly where Bones is. He is concussed. His location is known. Flash for a certain amount of time as well. Everyone is hunting him down. He manages 1 kill. However, it won't be a lot. So, Velocity get their 9th round on board, and the side of True Rippers, they seem to be really struggling on this defensive half, coping up with all sorts of executes that Velocity are going for. It's not about the executes, honestly, OG. For me, it feels like Velocity, the angles they're peaking, just the fact that they managed to get like 3 kills without a single casualty is just such a bonus for the attack.
Such a bonus for the attack. And Bones,
Get out of my way!
we could have seen him do a lot the last round, and it could be the same this round as well. I'm waiting to see what the Seekers could look like in the re-engagement. No! He dances the dance of death against Deathmaker. Never want to do that when he's on his blades. On top, God. Look at the position he's in. He has the judge, so he's trying to force the fight close range before. Very heads up play. You're not gonna fool this man whatsoever. A 10-2 is not a half that he can take home happy.
Certainly isn't. Absolutely not. Yeah, the fact that Velocity will get double digits gives them so much buffer period to help them, secure the win. This is just a massacre. My god, how many ults is that? Blade Storm, Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury, the Tornado Force was also active. Velocity gave everything because they knew. I mean, yeah, they didn't care. The side swap happened. They're just, you're bullying him at this point. Come on, one member against 4 ults, you can't do anything. So that's that. Velocity absolutely 100% in control. Side swap is here. And for any True Rippers fans watching, this can give True Rippers the hope that they needed, or like a change of pace. I believe we saw one of the matches right here in the Challenger series. I'm forgetting which match it was, but it was a similar score, like 10-2 or something along the lines of that. And then the opposition, the team that were down, that had the 2 rounds, they managed to surmount a decent enough comeback. Yeah. I don't think they end up winning, but they got like 8 or 10 rounds in total. So comebacks can absolutely happen. Are they going to be happening right now? Well, let's see the answer to that question as the pistol round is upon us and everyone from True Rippers falls upon the B-bomb side.
Oh god, that was again the breach salt that we all know and love. Not able to get that salty kill though, because One Tap God's able to cover his teammate in the nick of time, although his repositioning should be hurt by that as well. Close range, he actually wins that out against a Frenzy. Alright, that's certainly an unexpected turnaround. Master though, this is a very big kill that he's netted, and now it's a big play that he needs to make as well. 47 HP, 21 HP now, but it's almost equivalent to Deathmaker. The classic is really good positioning though, even better for Deathmaker. Beginning at the end.
Great round. I think it is. I mean, with the fact that Velocity have won the pistol, we saw what happened in round number 2 of the first half, right? The anti-eco. Velocity absolutely obliterated the side of True Rippers with their Spectre's full armor. So this time, the difference is True Rippers are on attack. They can bring the gunfight to the side of VLT. Is the result gonna change? I'm not gonna lie, I beg to differ. I don't think it will. True Rippers are not going for a force buy as well. When you're in a situation like this, it's 50-50. Either you go for it, you don't. Oh no, actually, yeah, they are going to commit to the force buy. So they absolutely thought about it for the first like 10 seconds or something, and they've decided to go for the Spectre's half armor. And this is, yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures. True Rippers go for it. They'll be pushing down the corridors of A shot, hoping to find a kill. Velocity, Vibho being the first line of defense. He can deny that. Great headshot. The judge has been dropped, and there's the slow from Chamber. Meanwhile, you have other members of Velocity who have also rotated back into the A-bomb side. 3 of them are right here, and True Rippers have no choice but to fall back.
Yeah, look at DM's position though. All the way towards B long attacker entrance. Like that's a rotation that True Rippers are not gonna be able to commit, even if they really want to. In fact, they're gonna go back into his chars, where Hellfighter is lying in wait, has that rendezvous, so not gonna be a sweat for him to get out of this position whatsoever. Shock dart damages him a little bit, but the utility setup on the peak, he's not still able to translate though. Mataratsu traded out. That's very good stuff from Bones, coming alive when his team needed it the most. 2 versus 3, but Vibor positioning is everything, and he's gotten it brilliantly. Denies that trade. Almost got that rendezvous in the nick of time. Doesn't have any smokes, but he's setting up Deathmaker on this backstab very well. That's something Paradox only has heads up now. Beautiful shot from Deathmaker. 1v2. You're not gonna pull up those Spectre plays against Vibor, my man. Map point, VLT. And they've already felt. It already feels like the journey is close to being over when it's just barely begun.
Hey, it was the map choice of Velocity. I was a bit confused at start why must they go for it, but honestly Velocity are looking really strong. Whether it be on the basis of the gunfights that they're winning, I mean the scoreboard really paints a gruesome picture to the side of True Rippers and how they've been performing. Yeah, seeing those, they have been a couple of standout performances, Master, Bones, but then it's about when you look at the deaths side of things on the scoreboard that really shows that, yeah, True Rippers have just been falling off the board a lot of times. They've been dying a lot more than the members of Velocity. The survival rate of VLT is really going strong. Now health, oof. just waits, and True Rippers are going into the crosshairs of velocity. Even someone like Vibhom, who is concussed, can he fall back safely?
setting
He
up
can
bait,
manage
though.
another kill. Oh,
And hell
he
of
did.
manages to
He
make
did. That was a
another.
great play.
Drone as well, the backstab's well set up now, dude. It's almost done. Unless they take TP. True Rippers. Uncomfortable position because they have no information on the other side. So the call that they need to make needs to be decisive. But that reveal should make things a little more certain, right? I hope Deathmaker's on this
Yeah,
backstab and
on
things
the
aren't going to
flank.
look pretty.
Exactly. The flanks there from Deathmaker. He catches one of the members. The spike is with Paradox. That's good. So he can do whatever he wants in the 40 seconds he has for the time being. Oh no, the timing! Oh, the timing doesn't work. He can catch a couple of the members off guard. He gets the double. That's great
30
stuff right
seconds
here.
left.
And now it's going to be a 1 versus 1. It's going to be Amaterasu up against Paradox. Gets the
orbital
orbital
strike.
strike. Matters a lot. Yeah.
Try smoke as well. A little bit of cover, but Amaterasu already knows what's up, dude. No way Paradox gets the plant off.
Holding.
10 seconds left.
Amaterasu may allow him that luxury. It's the afterplant. Oh, the aftershock. No. That's done. It's gonna go through. Yeah. Nice try from Paradox. There wasn't much you could do in that scenario, but he did his best. And honestly, when True Rippers were down like that, it was just
Defenders
unfortunate.
win.
So yeah, great map from Velocity side. 13-2, not much to say. It was pretty one-sided. And that's that. The face cams as well. Just Velocity, it's another day in the office.
Yeah, they're gonna be taking a small break before they head over to map 2, and True Rippers, I think, are in more desperate need of that one break. Need to mentally
True.
reset. Get ready for map 2 because it's gonna be Haven, right? Another chance for them to dig at it. And VLT, they're no strangers to Haven whatsoever. Yeah, dude. Map 1, as gruesome as it was, I'm not really sure how much of an improvement I could expect in map 2.
I don't know. With the gunfights, I guess the fact that Haven is a lot larger than Bind. I mean, Bind is like we talked about this a lot. It's close quarter combat. Haven, one of the larger maps that we have in terms of the square area. So maybe that allows a team like True Rippers a lot of those hit and run tactics where they take a gunfight and they immediately fall back to safety. You can't do that too much in Bind because with it being such a small map, what is safety for you? When you have attackers pushing into places like hookah, B long, A showers, A shot within the first 20 seconds of the action phase, you don't have a lot of room to play with. But that's a different case on Haven, where some place like A long, you can be holding A long and you can fall back. But that's Haven in of itself. That's a very different map. Taking a look at the highlights on the map of Bind, we saw one thing. Velocity were extremely quick with how they were taking control of the site, with how they were executing and the kills they were getting. Boy, oh boy. Ever since the half started, ever since the map started, Velocity were not giving up anything to the likes of True Rippers.
I feel like the pistol was like one of the only few rounds that actually came close to the wire for True Rippers, and they had that real opportunity. And ever since then, it's just gone downhill, dude. A lot of this also comes down to VLT just completely outdueling them. Like, Deathmaker's not supposed to get the fourth in a position like that. After you get that first frag, you're supposed to instantly be traded out or at least be pre-fired and pre-anticipated. Although this one round that they did win on the back of 2 ultimates. Like imagine, a 2 versus 3, it required 2 ultimates to then secure it. I'm not, okay, no diss whatsoever. They did the things that a textbook, very good stuff for them. But if those are the only rounds you win in a game, then that arises a plethora of questions that does leave you in an uncomfortable situation.
Right. Yeah, all the other rounds, the rounds where ultimates didn't play that big of a factor, the thrifties, the ecos, or just your regular 5v5, full buy rounds, even them, Velocity just had control and their regular utility usage was really good as well. A couple of exceptions were there, absolutely, but Velocity still managed to pull it back. I mean, even in this round, it was a 2v4 scenario. Then VLT, based on the positioning, the fact that they got the spike down as well, just played, and yeah, absolute brilliance. And then you had your pixel perfect shots that VLT just always hit. Look at this from health, a clutch 1 versus 2. To me, it was a lot about gunfights. And when you have a one-sided map like this, 13-2, gunfights do paint a very true and yet simple picture. It's that one team is just winning a lot more of their duels. And in this case, that team was Velocity. We are seeing round after round in these highlights, and every single time it's the team in red who are getting the better end of the duel against their opposition. So, was it a case of True Rippers just not being warmed up or their synergy not being on point? I don't think True Rippers were quote unquote outgunned by Velocity. I think, like, mechanically, the players all have like similar aim and like similar mechanical skills. But in this instance, it just did not pan out the way.
At the end of the day, it boils down to this being a team game, buddy. You take engagements, you take position, you take aggression based on what your team needs, and you deliver based on how the setup is. So I feel like, at least in the case of Bind, VLT just seems far more heads up. I think True Rippers were caught a little off guard by this draft. So pooling in Bind was a very, very good call from VLT. Waited down that just a little bit, but again, it's VLT, right? So at the back of our minds, we knew that VLT kind of had this one in the back from the get-go. Although True Rippers
Right.
are the team with the point to prove. So I'm still going to wait for the rebuttal. I'm not going to count them out just yet, as we kind of sillily oftenly do. Again, Monster might have played good, but this was a map where one-tap God was very absent, right? That's something very rare. That's something we also got to see yesterday when our main man Paradox, not Paradox, who's this? The Jet from yesterday. He wasn't Knight Rider. He wasn't able to start off well, but then he transitioned into playing better. So it's all
Right.
going to require that mindset of the ability to come back and get in your senses, because sometimes you start off the day slow, right? But that shouldn't hamper the
Mhm.
way the day ends.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, for True Rippers, it's going to be their own map choice. They still have two maps. If they can win out Haven, we will go on to Ascent as well. But yeah, this scoreboard really painted the whole picture on the side of what happened on Bind. Excellent performance from Velocity. Once more, Deathmaker being the MVP of the Challenger series was in this map the MVP. Can he be the series MVP as well? I mean, yeah, this is just him
Possible.
just absolutely showcasing to everyone. Look, I'm just the most valuable player. What can I say? Be it a best of three, the whole series, I don't care. But both the teams, regardless of the individual performances, both the teams absolutely need a small break to get ready for the second map to make sure everything's on point, especially True Rippers, like you said, they need to bounce back. They need to start their grind. So, for that very reason, we'll be taking a very short break. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you tune in to map number 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Challenger Series with ZOTAC. I'm CCV, joined alongside OG Lores Chicken, and we are bringing to you the upper bracket semi-finals between Velocity and True Rippers. Map 1 has concluded of this best of 3. Velocity, on their own map choice of Bind, took a very commanding 13-2 victory. We now move on to the second map that's going to be the choice of True Rippers. The map is going to be Haven. And OG, do you think the result is going to be any different?
I hope. I think that's all I can do,
Yeah.
right?
True,
The more you theory craft, the more you put on the the sideway of curse. So don't want to go any distance close to that. And in this sense, True Rippers, they are a team who, for some reason, find shape out of nowhere and start looking like demons themselves. So you really can't count themselves out right now. VLT though have been looking daunting to say the least. A 13-2 victory, very good stuff. What is the difference that True Rippers need to put up in a map like this? Because Bind is a map that's very reliant on not overplaying your rotations, right? And we saw VLT
Right.
juke their rotations maybe 3 to 4 times when they were on the attack. A map like Haven is kind of similar in that sense as well. Given that the 3 sites, the ability to defend 3 sites is going to be based on rotation and information. And that's something that we can also clearly get an indication of with the draft.
Oh, with the agent selection, I think both the teams they'll be going for the standard. I mean, if on Bind they're going for double initiator, 100% they're going to repeat that on the map of Haven as well. Haven practically is double initiator. The Sentinel, interesting. Health has gone for KJ.
Yeah.
Interesting to see, but overall, not much is going to change. Bones picks up the breach. Master will probably be on the Sova, and yeah, that's that. Only 1-2 differences here and there. You have the breach versus the KO, then you have the KJ versus the chamber, and quite similar to what we saw on Bind. The same comp, different agents. Yes, it leads to different use cases, specifically with the utility and how a team plays around that. Like how you're going to play as a chamber is very different to how you'll be playing as a KJ. But overall, with same comps, we can expect the staple like Haven South Asian Valorant that we always know, that we always watch. I don't think it's going to be any different. The main difference is gonna boil down to which team can better effectively and efficiently use their utility and their positioning. Because on Haven, positioning is gonna matter the most.
The one thing that I kind of feel a little afraid for VLT4 is the last time we saw a KJ go up against a breach, it wasn't pretty for the KJ. So, especially on Haven.
True.
It's very easy for Bones to deny not only maybe some of the information play that Right to Ace will go for, but also the lockdown. So Hellfighter needs to be very creative, I'd say, with this placement of how he is gonna be. Oh, okay, never mind. We have something more beautiful on camera. Have our old friend here.
Yeah, a lot of moves being made. So, coach for velocity, and that's the thing that almost every single team has gone for so many of these coaching changes. Velocity has made one. Global Esports, I believe Enigma's still gone for the same. Then you have even the other teams, even the up and coming teams like Reckoning. I believe they let go of their coach very recently. Now we have the coach for True Rippers, Daffy, in front of us. So nice to see a lot of managerial positions being changed. And it's not just the player market. that's constantly evolving with the new additions and people leaving and stuff. It's also the coach positions and what impact do they have. That's always going to be interesting to see the changes that can be spotted, or like the improvements more specifically that can be spotted with them. But overall, it boils down the actual game. So without any further ado, let's jump in. It's going to be the pistol round, the round that decides a lot of the things, the tempo of the game, how it's going to be, the team, the dynamic, the gunfights. A lot is going to be decided right here. If we take bind as any bit of hint for how the pistols went, velocity should be in control, but I believe it's going to be a different case. Large map means a lot more room to play with, and for a team like True Rippers, a team who are constantly changing and improvising their strategy in rounds, Haven will be favoring them a lot because they have so many avenues to attack VLT from.
Yeah. And I know that we keep hyping and reiterating that value of the pistol round, like it's qualifying from Drive to Survive, but it truly is that significant.
Huh.
It has a very big implication on how early advantage will pave your way for not only your ultimate economy to sink, but also sink in the fact that you can deploy different strategies while making sure that if you consistently take your W's, you deny utility, you deny economy, you deny a lot of things to your adversary. So looking forward to see what True Rippers have to offer on this attack, because it's VLT starting off on defense duty. And mind you, VLT do have that killjoy, right? Wait, did Paradox just rep Paper X there? Nice. I love that t-shirt, dude. Something I might pick up myself.
It is a very beautiful one, and the team, their performance as well. My God, it's something as beautiful as well. Their performance recently ended, but nah, it's more about the journey than the destination, and honestly, what a showing they gave. But overall, I think True Rippers, they should be thinking about their own journey in the Challenger series for the time being. You know, not being knocked down into the lower brackets should be their biggest worry for the time being, because in the lower brackets, we know teams are hungry and they are absolutely lethal. They will not cut any corners. They'll give it their everything. And for the time being, True Rippers do health. Beautiful kill. Can he fall back? No, that's a trade. But Velocity are aware that everyone in True Rippers is right here in Garage. The utility dump is present. You have someone like Right to is present who loses his life. True Rippers are pushing into enemy territory. However, they don't have side control just yet. Then defenders spawn. And oh, they have absolutely juked Velocity. Look at them. My God.
This is like a CSGO strategy, dude. This is like Inferno Rush B, and then I'll go from CT to A. Okay, True Rippers. I like what I'm seeing. HP on either side not really that favorable. And VLT really now need to make a move. Paradox. His position given away. Has a smoke, has that shrouded step as well. They're gonna be playing this close position towards shot on the back of the crossfire. They're gonna ignore that tailwind, and Deathmaker gets that heads up frag. Very good from him. He can let go of this engagement and then take out Crosshair. I'm not sure why Crosshair was not given that information for him to play out of. Does have the aftershock. Now he needs to try disposing it on the bomb. Deathmaker's got his eye and his number. Now his head put to bed. 1-0, dude. This was a situation that did favor True Rippers to a good advantage. 100%. And they played that setup very close. They only had that. I think they communicated it to Crosshair. It's only about that heads up play where then he can relinquish control of defender rotation and then commit to this A crunch. But no information for them to play out of, and yeah, things just don't pan out in their favor. VLT hit him up with the bamboozle.
VLT being 3 for 3 in the pistol rounds that we have witnessed in this best of 3. So yeah, insane numbers from their side. It's gonna be a full-on anti-eco from the side of the defense. Spectre's full armor. And yeah, True Rippers can't do much. It's gonna be a proper eco round for their side. Classics, what did we spot? One shorty. That was that.
Close range though. He dashes into the enemy. Never mind.
Ooh.
They have a Spectre to work with now. It's possible for them to do more damage. What do you think? Ideal situation, either garage or B? Close in the distance gives you an engagement, gives you that opportunity, which is all the more important in a situation like this. Give them the opportunity, and then more possibilities open up for them.
Yeah, I mean, True Rippers, they're gonna go into the bomb site. Velocity, the utility denies it everything, and now they're just looking to isolate the gunfights. But Paradox through the smoke, great kill.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh!
What?
Master!
What's happening here?
Everyone just gets those kills. Paradox went insane, and then you had the right click from the Classic. That was just a facilitating move, allowing the
clutch.
side of True Rippers
He's got
to
this.
try and take the win. However, Right to Ace can take it all away from their side. 1 versus 1 now.
Oh,
The recon
God.
reveals the location and beautiful, beautiful shot. Velocity still managed to take the win. However, it has costed them 4 lives.
Okay, controversial opinion, but I feel like that doesn't really make a difference if VLT go half armor Vandal here, especially Deathmaker. He can be the difference maker, and this is a risk, but with risk comes reward, right? I think we're gonna get to see it. And a very crucial clutch found as well. I'm not sure how VLT found such stroke of luck. I think that's the only thing you can surmount to do, right? You know, that spray through the smoke, the fact that, you know, the kangaroo peek with the Classic actually worked. That was Deathmaker's early demise outside B. And that's the early Vandal out of the hands of VLT as well. The board's positioning. Oh!
Yeah, it's the fact that True Rippers right now, you know, they are all over the map. They're peeking a lot of these angles and they're not allowing Velocity like anything off the pressure. VLT though, they still manage an absolutely beautiful flank that I don't think True Rippers are very well aware of just yet. But VLT know where they execute it. It's gonna be a full-on C push. VLT happily give up side control in the hopes for a retake, and that's exactly what they'll be playing off of. Someone like Vibho playing the Omen, he needs to be the clutch master for his team because no one in True Rippers is expecting him to peek from C long. Absolutely nobody has their eyes there, and someone like Crossy alongside Master just watching the defended Swan, and from behind Vibho gets the final kill. VLT still managed to win the round. They pick up the 2 rifles. That's a great tally for their side because of the fact that they decided to give up side control, because of the fact that they decided to peek together later on while they were executing their plan, means that in the end it will be successful.
Without a doubt, and the more that VLT maintain this clean sheet, the more I get worried for True Rippers, dude. It seems like a repeat of
Yeah.
map 1, doesn't it? I've seen them do very good stuff with the Sheriff, but come on, dude. When it's gonna matter, when it's on the buy, when you have the advantage, if you don't translate rounds like those, these rounds carry very little meaning at the grand scheme of things.
Let's play.
Right, yeah, this round from the side of Troopers, they're just gonna force out a play and they'll be hoping that they get a couple of kills. One tap god, oh, because of that nano song, he's all alone.
Wow!
All right,
okay.
to Ace. Had the knife in his hand, one tap god secures the frag, that's good. He can't get the rifle for the time being. He's gonna use his downburst, go there. However, Amatrasu's already present. He knows that True Rippers, they are hungry for a rifle, that their economy isn't doing all too well. The Tour de Force is there. Deathmaker had the danger of dying by it. However, he goes by, and Paradox goes by unnoticed up towards heaven. Oh, beautiful shot. And now Deathmaker's all alone. Even he dies. True Rippers have total control of A.
I think this rotation's heard already. They should anticipate this peak coming on through. Crosshair reposition towards long with the Tour de Force, and that's not gonna make a difference because Vibor creeps in through short. Has another smoke, so can deny this play. Crosshair needs to go above and beyond as he tries to commence the push through the smoke. The flick doesn't connect.
Oh.
I still like that song, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it is a banger. It's a classic. Come on. But right now, it's just, I mean, oh my god, it's bind all over again. Nothing has changed. Velocity, you know, 4 rounds that have been played so far, in all 4 of them, True Rippers managed to get the spike planted, but every single time Velocity know they are playing for the retake. VLT happily give up side control. In this case, though, in the previous round, I mean, side control was taken away from them. Someone like Deathmaker, who was all alone in the bomb side because of casualties faced towards heaven, meant that, yeah, VLT just, no one was present in A. But even if they are, VLT give up and they play for the retake. And True Rippers need to realize this, is that they have to go for casualties early on. So far, trade has happened. One tap god going to be diving into the bomb site, looking for a kill as everything on Garage is gone. True Rippers, all their members are in the C bomb side. They don't have control of Garage. And that's a big problem. Once more, the spike goes down and once more, Velocity play for a retake.
3v3, they have a little bit to work with. They have that Hunter's Fury. They have the lockdown. What's the play, VLT? Lockdown, committed, Hunter's Fury. For now, omitting the positions towards site, but it still leaves one tap god in a position to make a difference. Position discovered, however, and that's going to be the peak from right to waste alongside Deathmaker to confirm things. Way towards Cubby detained, if I'm not mistaken. This Paranoia buys a little bit of time, and now the stick comes on through. Choctar does a little bit of damage. The half stick pulls out the ult. This is important seconds now being wasted by Master, who's not able to get the initial connection on right to waste. He sticks the defuse, and this round they still manage to find the retake. Oh, right to waste, such heads up play, and that's my well-deserved. Duffy's gonna call the timeout, and a well-deserved timeout for VLT to take a seat back and have a laugh, because they just stole the last round like it's Mission Impossible. And CA might not have the looks, but he certainly brings in that style factor.
I mean, yeah, Velocity, the way in which they played that last round, that was magnificent from their side. They stuck the diffuser half when the Hunter's Fury was not used, when it was just the shock dart. And because it was half, then they knew that the Hunter's Fury would not have enough time to go for two of those strikes. So someone like Right to Ace, who was on full HP, he absorbed one hit of them and then just continued to go for the diffuse and yeah, True Rippers just lost. So good stuff on the side of Velocity. But even before that, the play with the Killjoy lockdown, True Rippers went for a gamble. Someone like One Tap God was in the bomb site. He was ready to sacrifice himself being in the lockdown just so he could get a kill on the VLT members. Problem was, he did not get a kill. He died in vain. Velocity was still 3 members strong, and the final 2 members were forced all the way back into C-Long because of that very lockdown, and that just wasn't optimal positioning. The smokes covered their line of sight, and it just got very messy. Velocity managed to attain control and keep it. So that was the deal of the previous round. The timeout is done. True Rippers, the last time they took a timeout, they end up winning 2 rounds on the map of Bind. So once more, hopefully and optimistically for their side, they end up successful. It's gonna be a full-on C take. Let's see how this one pans out.
Oh, Hellfighter still holds on to his ground as Right to Ace comes in from the defender spawn rotation. Spam through the smoke, and the double peek should be on through. Bones finds that kill, but mind you, HP a very big problem now. Deathmaker still has that operator, which is not really ideal, let's say, on the retake. 6 HP. Does he commit to the save? Money not looking all that great. Bones gets the triple. And you can see that Duffy was very vocal in that timeout there.
Yep.
He was very prepared with the plan. But I hope that they have so much more from where that came from, because it's so much of a necessity right now with the VLT whitewash that we've gotten to see for the past 45 minutes. And with this being map 2 and we're already halfway done with the first half, this is about time that True Rippers finally got on a path to recovery.
They need to, because honestly, if they don't, this means imminent lower bracket run for the side of Velocity. This is not the best rounds economically. They're gonna go for a full-on thrifty. Great shot from Right to Ace before he dies, gets 1 kill. That's good. True Rippers get side control, and Velocity very spread apart, like retake that they're going for. They're just gonna roam in that pair that is pushing through attacker spawn, looking to get into A main. And they're hoping they get a kill or 2, because honestly it's very, very difficult to think otherwise. Crosshair with the angle he's holding, He can get those easy shots. Oh, he can't. Unfortunate, misses those. It is now a 2 versus 2, mind you, OG. Something can happen, but no, this was the linchpin. Amaterasu dying means Help's location is known. Pressure cannot be applied from 2 areas. And with Help pushing down a shot, it's just a Hail's Mary. He attempts whatever he can, but it won't be much.
Yeah. 2 rounds though, back to back. And that's the same thing we said in Bind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Needs to be the 3rd, and that's something VLT have saved for. They have enough money to reinvest into half shields operators, so I think that's the route that we're gonna see Deathmaker take. I'm still thinking through my mind, you know. See, VLT have this Killjoy. In my opinion, the Killjoy is much more proficient on the defense. True Ripper's Crosshair is trying to play against that with his chamber of his own, which is, I'd say proficient on both sides, but it enables your attack to be a little more lethal, right? And alongside your thrifties to be a little more entertaining if you're a viewer. So I'd still say True Rippers have a good chance to make it back, but I'd say timing is everything, and the time is ticking.
It is. True Rippers are ready for a B take. It's going to be Crosshair being the first person in the bomb site. The Nanostorm prevents him from pushing in. And once more, Velocity delay this push from True Rippers. However, True Rippers, they'll not let this momentum go unfazed. They push into Garage. They're looking for a C take. And they're ready to take it by force. My god, Health gets shredded right down there. Velocity are on 3 members. The site has been taken and the spike is going to be planted.
Why aren't they looking here? He destroyed the alarm board. What's True Rippers doing? They threw away that man advantage. They're trying to play aggressive through Garage. It still hasn't panned out. This goes down. His teammates' information is given away. Master's position's transparent. How common is that server battle gonna lead with utility? Well, quite often. And this time it's Right-Aways who takes that diff. VLT. It seems like the same old story on rinse and repeat. 6-2, their retakes comfortable. And on defense, they're not breaking any sweat whatsoever, dude.
I mean, this round didn't matter a lot to Velocity because, again, had they lost this one economically, it would have been a bit disastrous. But they managed to secure the win. You know, they had to go for a thrifty. They struggled for a little while, but Velocity are back up and running. And once more, the side of True Rippers, they're left with the, you know, their hands in their heads thinking and wondering that how do we get back from this? You know, this is like Bind all over again, except for the fact that it's a different map and the playstyles have changed up and the comps have changed up a bit. It's, at the end of the day, the same result for both the rosters. This is like practically a do-over, a carbon copy. So keeping that in mind, True Rippers need a change of pace. They've realized that gunfights are not working for them in instances. Like, if used correctly with utility, with utility, True Rippers absolutely just roll into the park and eliminate every single Velocity member out there. One of the executes that they went for on the C bomb site was a great example of that, where everyone just pushed up. Velocity got like 1, maybe 2 kills, but True Rippers maintained man advantage and they got site control. In the retakes, yes, also True Rippers can struggle a bit, but it's just about the situational awareness. If they can keep it grounded and if they can make sure that they know everything what's going on, which is a very difficult ask, but it can happen.
The commitment towards A now. Is this the sign that True Rippers just want to change the pace to the boatload? Because if so, they've chose the absolute worst round to do so. This is a round where they have the lockdown here, VLT. And they're gonna be comfortable playing this retake. Look, everybody from VLT concede. They want to play, they're gonna play post plant, Lamau.
Spike planted.
They go for the lockdown, and I believe the lockdown will be destroyed because the breach is still there. They're going to try something. Destroy it. Oh, no, wait, they let it through. Everyone's out, Velocity is sticking it. The Hunter's Fury will be used from the side of True Rippers. The spike is at half. Amaterasu can stick it. What is going on from the side of True Rippers? This was disastrous. Everyone dies in the hands of Fright Twist towards the end. This was not how they intended on playing this out at all. No.
I told you, bro. It's a death wish that they assigned as soon as they decided that rush. As soon as I saw that lockdown, I'm like, yeah, this is not working.
Oof.
The deficit grows, my friend. And the first half, it's coming to its dying end. Very few rounds for True Rippers to not claw their way backward. And Netmaker's looking precise as ever.
When is he not? So now True Rippers really struggling times for their side. Honestly, this feels like a 10-2 again. If I'm being honest, okay, maybe True Rippers can get like a 9-3, but they are struggling. They are struggling bad. Going on defense on the map of Haven as well isn't like statistically, I mean, it's pretty much like it can work out your way, but it's a tough ask. When you're up against Velocity, things are looking extremely bleak. This round, very quiet. True Rippers now are ready for the execute, but Vibho has spotted a couple of the members. He loses the gunfight, and that means someone like Health is all alone, and even he dies very rapidly. True Rippers take control of the C-bomb site, and they're ready for this post plant.
This push! The shock dart's brilliant right to Ace is all alone because the paranoia still finds himself that one tap got on the Ace and he finds it.
Ooh.
Was that a 3-man spray transfer there at the end, or did he tap them all together? I'm interested to know. Now have a replay nonetheless. If this push from right to Ace would have amounted for more, you could have seen this realistically slip away from True Ripper's hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it was not his transfer. Just tap, tap, tap. Nice, nice, nice. 7-3. But is there more to be? Because True Rippers really need more, and they really need it now.
They do. Oh, it's gonna be a heavy-handed push from the side of Velocity. I mean, they push up mid very aggressively, and it works! My god, the Hunter's Fury alongside the Blade Storm. True Rippers are down to 2 members, and Paradox right here on mid. He's gonna be peeking, but Velocity's gamble really plays off. This was a big, big risk that they took, just flooding down the gullies of mid. And it works. It works. They have the man advantage, and True Rippers are backed off towards attacker spawn with the spike not being in their hands.
The only thing that True Rippers have to some extent is HP. But even so, they need to go get the spike. Paradox position given away. Helef should note that there is danger lurking. Although Monster does very good in isolating that frag on a Deathmaker, who was one of the losing players here, mind you. Helef could not have afforded to go down there. Monster very well aware as to what the aggressive play is going to look like, and now it's all under the hands of Amaterasu. They've taken the spike, they've headed towards the A side, and Amaterasu has the heads up play on this. If he goes now, might find the isolated 1v1, but it needs to be ready. Oh, shoot. This is big stuff. This is very big stuff. 1v1.
Spike down A.
He will have his null point. He will have the 0 point. He has everything he needs, bro. And so does Master. He has the drone. He has HP. More crucially. Timing, though, is going to be of the essence.
10 seconds left.
Shotgun really valuable. Master, I think he's given away. Yep. Amaterasu very well aware of the positions. Is Master gonna stick it? No. There's no time. No.
Revealing area.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah, I think silence is deserved.
Yeah, okay. Let's 2 minutes of like mourning for the side of True Rippers. Look, I get it. It was not that bad of a mistake in the heat of the moment. You forget about time. As soon as he saw that 0 point go through, he was like, okay, yeah, Amaterasu is right there. I can get him. But then he went off and 2 seconds remain. Dodgy play, but you know what? It is what it is. Final round of the first half. True Rippers can still make better of the situation. 8-4 won't be that bad for their side, honestly. You know, it is bad, but like it's salvageable. 8-4 is like a pretty normal round end score that we can witness in Valorant. But in the meanwhile, True Rippers need to win this round in order to achieve that 8-4. The null command suppressing almost everyone's side of True Rippers means that their locations are known. They can't use their abilities, velocity, very well aware. And VLT are not peeking the angles. They're just throwing every bit of utility that's out there in the hopes of delaying True Rippers, and that's exactly what's happening. True Rippers indefinitely delay this V execute and they fall back.
A lot of utility being dumped on the face of True Rippers to stop this push. It's gonna be a little harder though this time when VLT do play retake, right? As the utility disposed is significant. They lack this utility on the reinitiation, which now True Rippers can commit because it's the last 30 seconds. This is the crucial part. This is why VLT want to boil down the time. This forces errors from the other side. And one tap god another couple of seconds where he cannot use his knives. This is crucial seconds being bought of what's left. 20 seconds is what's on the clock, CCV. And right now, True Rippers need to be on the side. The one click whiff!
No!
That is heavy, and Amaterasu doing heavy lifting of himself, getting to the reinitiation from Vibor doesn't pay its dividends. And now again, things boil to a 2 versus 2. Deathmaker significantly low HP. A lot of this now has to do on the back of Hellfighter. And he's forced the shoulder of Paradox. Deathmaker, his position smoked out and being watched. Paradox, did he find that through the smoke? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep.
And that is the phantom betrayal that you absolutely don't want. True Rippers though clinched this round, but it almost slipped from in between their fingers. 8-4. Things just don't look the best for them. But it's still possible for them to claw their way back in the game. Yesterday we saw this against EG, where they lost the 8-4 half that they had a lead on. So it's doable, but True Rippers are gonna need a whole lot more of at least that rigor, and I think a part of that has to do with this pistol start.
It's gotta. The 3-for-3 statistic that Velocity have going for their side right now in the entire best of 3 really means that, you know, they are winning pistols. And this has got to affect True Rippers a bit psychologically as well. They know Velocity are really good in this round. Meanwhile, True Rippers... Wait, what? What? I'm sorry. What was the attempt there?
A fast play. They were assuming that it would be the likewise from VLT, maybe towards A or C. If they gain control of mid towards the window real quick, might have been a possibility for them to commit then rotations to maybe deal with that. But VLT have been having a very, very disciplined day today. Not only in this map, but also in the map of Bind, right? When they were on the attack, you saw them have a lot of discipline, hold for these kind of pushes, and deal with them in a very, very appropriate manner. HP is very low, very, very low on Vibor. This is plausible. Possible though, that's a different question.
Alright. I mean, with Paradox all by himself, he's got the Ghost, he's got a decent amount of HP, isolates one gunfight, that's good. And with someone like Right Waist making a lot of noise, I was setting up the perfect play for Vibor. He may have done that on purpose, who knows. Alright. Hey, this wasn't the questionable play of the round. The questionable play was True Rippers. Like you said, they were going for the fast play, but they had their knives in their hand, and Velocity absolutely caught them red-handed as they were going through. So VLT so far have gone 4 for 4 in the pistol round territory. Nothing prevents these guys from losing their pistols. So that's that. And it's gonna be the side of True Rippers this time not going for a force. We saw this, they did go for the force buy on the map of Vine, but that was a lot more of a desperate situation. This is a lot more normal. VLT have gone for a classic anti-eco, and it's looking like the same thing for their side. That's a double kill for Health, a triple for him with the Spectre. True Rippers trying the same tactics, pushing down mid, but Velocity have an answer to that. Yeah, this round is simple, done and dusted. You can't really say much. I mean, it's classics against Spectres. That's it.
And Helaf should be getting this final frag as well. He's already farmed up 5 out of the 7 points in his ultimate required to get that lockdown. So if he ends up getting this final frag, realistically, oh, never mind. Right away, straight up trigonometry shock darts him. But you do see now that utility is also going to be up real quick on BLT with the way the last round happens. True Rippers, it's a truly upward climb for them. Because they're fed into the wrong person. And we've seen True Rippers crumble when it comes to that retake, right? So this just allows VLT to buy so much more time than they even need, in all honesty.
Boom. Now, this is the round for the side of True Rippers. They are going to be attempting to be aggressive. They have pushed up. I mean, one top god has pushed up into attacker territory. It's going to be difficult for him to fall back. The tailwind is gone. He's hit with the paranoia. And yeah, that's another death for him.
Oh, what the hell?
Ah, no paradox. Okay, Para manages one kill, but I don't think he'll be getting more. He's entirely flashed now. That's a great headshot from his side. But Velocity once more on their bonus round manage A side control, and True Rippers, they just overextended. You know, the thing was, it was a good play from one tap god. Like, in the heat of the moment, it can catch your opposition off guard. But the fact that he didn't have his tailwind and he was standing in the middle of the doorway. People peeked him from the left, from the right, sorry. And with the paranoia affecting him, there was no means of escape. So True Rippers once more, once or twice they lost the gunfight. You know, there was the spray that was missed and their positioning wasn't on point. They tried their best, but in the end, they have to opt for the save as Cross is the only one surviving. Full armor, and he's got the Phantom. That's good in carrying over to the next round. But Velocity, with them having 11 rounds on board, they are certainly just meters away from a full buy and from a full win.
Yeah, and I hope production has the replay of that spray being missed. Okay, it happens to all of us at home, so kind of understandable sometimes when this happens to you in the game. Oh, the betrayal, the betrayal. Vandal, dude, it's a lot like I say, you know, Vandal looks like a lifestyle. You either live it or you're not going to be in it whatsoever.
Oof. For the time being, True Rippers are looking to be in the upper brackets and they're trying everything. Another timeout has been taken from their team, and again, it's pretty obvious why they have opted for the timeout. They are losing. The pistol didn't go their side. Antico, granted, it was their thrifty, but with them losing out on their full buy, it means that Velocity hold all the advantage in the world. They are leading by 7 rounds. That's a 7-round discrepancy right there. Velocity economically are doing a lot better than True Rippers are. Alt economy for VLT, I believe, is looking better as well because they've had a lot more kills. So this is really one of the worst situations you can find yourself in as a team in a map when the second half, your ultimatum, your ray of hope doesn't go in your favor. How do you recover from that? How do you start building yourself up? Looking at the buy of True Rippers, I was just mentioning the economy. This is improper. It's a weak buy, to say at the very least. Cross said, good for him. He has managed to save up that Phantom, but everyone else on upgraded pistols. It's going to be a hero Phantom play, with only one of them being on board. But in the meanwhile, yeah, Velocity just have 5 rifles full armor. I don't think they're going to be phased out by anything being done by True Rippers.
What? That could have been the opening for True Rippers. I was gonna say little opportunity presents itself with both the utility not being completely on point per se, but VLT still end up walking away from this, the victor of those trades. And there's a long rotation over to that C site now. They're gonna be playing very, very wise against these lower weaponry, and that's something I love that VLT are doing, right? They're playing very, very methodical, very, very calculated, very, very patient with their approach. That smoke gives the wrong idea to Bones. He's having his back turned at the wrong time, at the wrong place, against the wrong hella fighter. You have the lockdown as well, my friend.
30 seconds left.
I don't think they need to use it in this round. I think they're fine with just playing on the use of their guns and the positioning. Amaterasu, he loses the gunfight, tags a couple of the members, but more specifically, gives information. Both the defenders, they're pushing from C long. My god, the destruction of that turret was really imminent. Otherwise, death would have been imminent for Para, but death is gonna be imminent regardless. Crosshair, just like the previous round, only person alive, but health guns them down. Beautiful spray through the smoke. And that is going to be match point, series point for Velocity Gaming.
Looking to take this one very, very quick. 13-2. Now looking to be 13-4. Two Rippers getting truly ripped apart, and this might just spill perfect fuel for them to find energy in that lower bracket run, right? Because they're still not going to be all the way out of it yet. They have another chance at it. BLT close and looking to add that cigar. Deathmaker just a bit. Oh god, he just caught off. Right to ace with jiggling guns, and they found Crosshair towards window. This should be support, however, that VLT can still provide. They do lose Hellfighter, but it's fine. They have the side. It's a 3v3. And with Vibor having that paranoia, it's possible for them to re-engage towards either defender spawn or towards garage. Depends on how they want to play this out. You still have cover as well, and there's lurk play. You've got to hope that it pays dividends.
Yeah, Velocity, the thing is, it is a pretty rushed execute from their side. Someone like One Tap God can absolutely be the differentiating factor. Exactly what he does. That's a double for him, leaving Amaterasu all alone. People know about his location, and that's going to be that. True Rippers, great round and great recovery from their side, going from a 3v3 to a 3v0. It was about the positioning. Velocity, they were caught in just an instance of, True Rippers knew what their plan was. BLT were going for the silent play on the B-bomb side, plant the spike, fall back, but their star player, Deathmaker, was gunned down. Retrieval of the spike by right to ace was also quite difficult. So VLT were just caught in this moment of, oh god, what do we do now? They know the spike is, they know the spike was dropped on the entrance of the B bomb side. Deathmaker, the only duelist who we have, is also gone in this round. So they just opted whatever they could. They pushed up into garage, got a trade, and then they were like, oh, I guess the C bomb side works. But it was a very rushed gameplay, and True Rippers, they took advantage of that. So good round from their side, and now they'll be looking to capitalize it off even further as One Tap God's operator finally singing. Can he get another kill? Oh, he absolutely can. In the meanwhile, Crosshair with the Vandal will be good for another. True Rippers, they know back the confidence that they desired.
HP so depleted, but Deathmaker still alive, and that's the crucial aspect of it. An alive Deathmaker is a scary Deathmaker, and it's a Deathmaker that you do not want to go up against. Meteor Maker, and that is Amaterasu taken out. An aggressive stance, dude. Aggressive stance, but it still doesn't pan out. One Tap God thwarting out aggression as he sets foot on it. And Deathmaker, like I said, as long as he's alive, there's still that possibility, because man knows how to pop off and when. 12-6 nonetheless, and True Rippers on the back of the Sprader are able to stay afloat. Cool, but they need 6 rounds in consecutive fashion if they want to not only draw overtime but win it and then go to a map 3. So if you thought any of your journeys were difficult, I just laid out another one for you.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, True Rippers, they've got the confidence in their minds, everything is surging for their side, the adrenaline as well. And I believe, yeah, Velocity, for the first time, I guess, they are taking the timeout. Or did they take a timeout of their own before? I believe I could be wrong. They may have done. But regardless of that, whatever happened in the past doesn't matter. Now is what matters. So they are back up. And True Rippers are just showing a new surge of confidence. I'm not really sure if it's just because of someone like One Tap God absolutely popping off. that's helping other members in peeking the angles, because yeah, it's turning into this domino effect where one tap god with the operator gets the first skill, then people like Para, then people like Crosshair on the chamber get a subsequent kill to follow, and before you even know it, Velocity are just gone through. Like, they have practically no members remaining. It's Deathmaker, hit with the paranoia and the fault line in that corner all alone. So things are really working for True Rippers for the past 2 rounds. They are 100% looking on the up and up. Seeing the scoreboard as well, Paradox, One Tap God, insane performance. And yeah, the fact that One Tap God is finally having a good day, contrary to how Vine was going, is a lot. But now, oh god, Amatrasu, he gets both the members in one spray, both of them being headshots. Crosshair, he gets one frag. But this can very well be the undoing of True Rippers. OG Velocity have the man advantage and the side control and the Killjoy lockdown.
They dodge the utility though, and the plan, however, is for the long position, so it's possible for them to hold. And this 2 versus 4, it is bleak, it is done, it looks dusted. True Rippers, they tried their very best, but it looks like they might not succeed. The swing needs to come in the nick of time, and it does. The last possible second, and the board gets the double. VLT closed us out 13-6. Whew. That was close, but not close enough for us to, get on the edge of our seat. Nice try, though. Kudos to True Rippers. They absolutely played their heart out for this one. VLT, though, too monumental of a team for them to overcome.
Yes, that's going to be that, seeing the player cams as well. True Rippers, it was a loss for them that must sting, because True Rippers, they gave it their level best. Bind, okay, yeah, it really did not go their way. Bind was absolutely a win for the side of Velocity. I mean, 13-2, that's it. You just put your hands up, you're like, I surrender. But on the map of Haven, the side of True Rippers were looking a lot more confident, and they had their shining moments. Overall, yes, Velocity dominated this map, and overall Velocity were looking in control. However, it showed that Velocity can be defeated temporarily, sure, but VLT can be defeated, and True Rippers just wanted to extend that defeat permanently and put VLT not just in low brackets, but at least go to the third map. But no, we won't be seeing a third map. What we will be seeing is the highlights of the second map of Haven as we relive all of these moments. And now again, if you are enjoying these moments, if you are liking these quick recaps of the maps that have been happening, not just this best of 3, not just the upper bracket semi-final, but all the other maps, and you would like to catch up on them instead of just watching the entire VOD, us here at the Esports Club, every single day we upload the highlights so you can watch those and you can see the best performances of your favorite players in the match that took place. So make sure you're subscribed, as right now we are going through every single round that happened on this map. Yeah, Velocity, from the start, they were just looking so much in control.
In fact, it's only when VLT were on the attack that they even kind of look vulnerable, right? On the defense, they looked rock solid. A lot of, and again, these kind of rounds, the quick plays, the quick decision making that you need to make, heads up play from right to ace, very, very well secured by VLT. Even in rounds where True Rippers kind of threw the kitchen sink at VLT, VLT weren't faced by that whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just Velocity knew the retake game. They knew exactly what their strategy was, and the good thing was for their side that it worked. Had it not worked, had True Rippers found a counter to this retake plan, then Velocity would have been more like, oh no, what do we do now? How do we start winning these rounds? And that could have led to more confusion and possibly more round wins for True Rippers. But overall, it was an 8-4 scoreline. And it's not all too bad. Like, it's not end of the world. It's not as bad as it was on Bind with like a 10-2 scoreline. True Rippers could have 100% mounted a comeback. But unfortunately, on the second half, Velocity ended up winning couple of those rounds more. This was one of the more confusing rounds where you just had to ask the members of True Rippers, what exactly were you planning right here? Not destroying the Killjoy lockdown, playing against it. VLT had the man advantage, and then they just played on the basis of that. So yeah, a couple of head scratches right here, couple of confusing rounds like, was that really supposed to happen like that? But overall, it was a good first half from both of the rosters. Here was the strikeout moment for One Tap God, the ace, overturning any slump that he was going on the map of Bind. He was an absolute phenomenon on this map right here, but unfortunately, one tap god by himself just wasn't enough for True Rippers to take the win. They needed a lot more of those team plays, and that's a regard where they lagged at times. Like Velocity were looking better with the executes where they were going for. This round, again, a great example of that.
I gotta see a couple of whiffs here and there as well, right? I think we got the
Mhm.
entire package almost. Although we didn't get to see the crazy ultimate plays that sometimes we're accustomed to, but understandably so. Every single player from True Rippers, I'd say you can't even say that they weren't on par in some of these departments. At the end of the day, I feel like with the way VLT played, it just showed how much composure really brings about value in a team. Composure, teamwork, the willingness to play retake in the way VLT did is, I think, the hallmark and the benchmark that all the other
Right.
teams now in the Challenger Series need to get accustomed to. Again, this is South Asia, right? Not Southeast Asia. So, as far as we're concerned, VLT, the best, or if not the favorite for a tournament like this.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, 100% velocity. It's not just the history that we already have, it's the performances right now. In the second
Exactly.
qualifier, in the main event, Velocity have lost very few rounds. Like, I don't think their opposition ever has reached double digits yet in the Challenger Series. That itself speaks volumes about the performances they've been having. And if you want to check their performances statistically, well, map number 2 is also a great indication. Health this time getting the 20 bomb. In the previous map, it was Deathmaker. Now itself, Amtrasu 15, and everyone having consistent performances. You would think that, oh, Deathmaker, only 14 kills, not the best. No, it was a great performance because the thing was, like you say, OG, it's a team game. And when all 5 members in your roster get roughly the equal amount of kills with like 3-4 differences here and there, it means that everyone is popping off irrespective of their agent archetype, irrespective of their positioning or like what kind of role are they performing. And that really is a benchmark and like a cornerstone of perfect synchronized team play. And overall, Velocity showcased that today, winning Bind 13-2, winning Haven 13-6. They were in control of this entire best of 3, and they'll be moving on forward into the upper bracket finals.
Upper bracket finals. And on the back of such a dominant run,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be scary for whoever matches up against VLT. It's going to be
Yes.
interesting as well to see if VLT can maintain this kind of form because we've seen the trend where, teams like EG, teams like GE have been on a slight drop off lately, but not due to like any big problems from their end as well. It's also the kind of season where you don't really have those kind of games, except for maybe those at the Challenger Series to actually play and contend seriously with, right? So it also could be down to this being somewhat of an off season for some of these top teams, and it's good to see
Right.
VLT maintain this top trend and top form. It, however, is going to be very interesting to see if EG are going to be able to claw their way back up from that lower bracket because they're also one of the favorites in the entirety of the Challenger Series, right? And we talked about the Challenger Series, and it's been a challenging series for True Rippers. Let's see who from VLT takes that MVP for today's match. It should be Deathmaker. Yeah.
Yep.
No surprises there.
He is still on his spot. That's going to be his second MVP of the Challenger Series. He is still the king when it comes to the best performance overall, not just in this BO3, yeah, he has that crown, but in the Challenger Series overall, Deathmaker has had the best performance statistically, and it showed. Average damage rating 166, 5 first bloods. I mean, yeah, as a jet main, you would think they're taking a lot more of those gunfights, but no, that wasn't the case. With a team like True Rippers, they were pushing a lot of those angles early on. Not that much on the map of Bind. On Bind, they were playing a lot more passively, but on Haven, True Rippers were bringing the gunfight to VLT members anywhere and everywhere, and that's why anyone could get the initial kill. But it's the big number towards the bottom side of the screen that we are all just amazed at. Average combat score 274 overall. After 2 maps, if you're able to maintain an average of that of 274, just goes to show what kind of insane performance you were having. Yeah, Deathmaker, great day for him. That's it.
Yeah, That's a great day for him here at the
Yeah.
office. And it's almost time, dude. It's gonna be the late evening. We have another incredible matchup for you guys at the night. So if you've not done so already, which I honestly don't know why, you know what to do. Hit the bell notification, hit that subscribe so you know whenever we're gonna go live. Because we not only have the Challenger series, like you said, CCV, we have a year long of not only Valorant, but esports extravaganza in general. Again, our 8 p.m. matchup is going to be Lethal Esports taking on M42, a matchup which is going to be far more closer than the matchup we had at 4 p.m. just due to the relevance of the matchup in terms of both these roster stories. Lethal Esports and M42 both have been going through a phase of rebuilding, and Lethal Esports are more or less a newer roster put together, whereas M42 have a couple of pieces in their puzzle changed. So it's going to be all crucial for either of these teams to take the W here to prove not only their relevance in the scene, but also to show who they can topple. Teams on equal pegging, and now they're looking to punch up, but you start from even pegging first, right? So it's going to be fun to see the
Absolutely.
head-to-head while it's going to be at the night. Anything that you feel like you should take away from the matchup that we had right now?
Fear the side of Velocity. I mean, yeah, they are just looking absolutely undefeatable right now. I don't think there's any team that can. I mean, so far there hasn't been a team that has gotten close to defeating VLT. Who's going to be the first, or is there going to be any team? That I think is the main question everyone will have in their minds once we see Velocity, in the next stage of the Challenger series. But before that, we have so many more matches. Like you just mentioned about our 8 p.m. match. The most interesting part for me is that it's going to be our first lower bracket matchup. And why that's important is that it's going to be the first time we'll be seeing one team eliminated. Oh, yes, that's a bit of an unfortunate thing. One of the teams going out of the Challenger series, but that just means that all 10 of the members at both the rosters will be pushing themselves to their maximum to make sure that they have the best of performances. However, that match will take a bit of time. It is at 8 p.m. So make sure you get yourselves refreshed. If you want to have the best performance while you're gaming, scan the QR code, get yourself Red Bull, make sure you're energized. And if you want your PC performing at the best of its capabilities, your game's running smoothly and beautifully, go down in the description, get yourself some high-end monitors from the side of LG Ultragear, get yourself the 3000 series graphic cards from ZOTAC, make sure your frames are boosted right up to the 200s and 300s, and make sure your energy level is at the same. So till then, we'll see you at the Challenger series. For now, take care and bye-bye.